Hello students, welcome back to the class again. So in the last class we are discussing regarding classification of colloids. So I told you that colloids or colloidal solutions can be classified in 4 different ways. The first basis that we discussed in the last class was based upon the physical state of the dispersed phase and dispersion medium. So I told you that the colloidal solution is a heterogeneous solution. It consists of 2 different phases. One which is present in lesser quantity is called the dispersed phase, and that present in higher quantity or higher concentration is the dispersion medium. And the dispersed phase can have 3 states: solid, liquid and gas. The dispersion medium can also have 3 states: solid, liquid and gas. So based on the physical state of the dispersed phase and dispersion medium, the colloidal solution can be of 8 types, which we discussed in the last class. And I told you how to remember them. I gave you the tricks how to remember them, and I hope that you must have remembered them by now. Then before going to the next basis of classification, let me clarify some common thing regarding colloidal solution. So there are some common terms to be used, like mostly coagulation, and where the colloidal particles, they are under a rampant motion or continuous motion, that is called Brownian movement. So I told you that the colloidal particles carry some charge. The colloidal particles carry some charge. For example, you must have seen at your home, घरे देखिथिबो जेतरे को पानी गोलिया आइ जाए, जेते कोन करा जाए, सेतरे पोटास आलम ऐड करा जाए, पोटास आलम ऐड करा जाए, तर काम कोन. So that is the best example of coagulation. So muddy water is an example of colloidal solution. Where mud particles or clay particles, they are the dispersed phase and water is the dispersion medium. So the mud particles, they are the dispersed phase. They are the dispersed phase and water is the dispersion medium. देखिथिबो पानी जतरे गोलिया हो जाए, फाइन क्ले पार्टिकल्स बा मड पार्टिकल्स जोडा तुम कहउछो से सहजरे बसे नहीं, सहजरे सेटल हुए नहीं. तुम कहितली, so when the heavier particles present in water settle down automatically at the bottom of the vessel, that process is called sedimentation. So जतरे heavier particle अछंती पानी रे हो any solvent रे, so they will settle down automatically at the bottom due to what? Due to force of gravity. So that process is called sedimentation. Okay. So when the mud particles, because they carry some negative charge, so these mud particles, they carry negative charge. So when they carry negative charge, I told you every colloidal particle carries some charge. So they possess the same charge. So what they do? Same charge repel each other. So they repel each other. They constantly bombard each other. That means they are under a constant motion. They are not stellar. So they are under a constant motion called Brownian motion or Brownian movement. Okay. So lagi कौन हला ना जो पानी का गोलिया ही जाए normally settle हुए नहीं, because it forms a colloidal solution where the mud particles or clay particles are the dispersed phase. The smaller particles, they carry negative charge and they are under a constant motion called Brownian motion. So माने स्थिर होई कि रुहती नहीं. Okay. Therefore they form a stable colloidal solution. Colloidal solution केतरे stable हबो ना जते बेले colloidal particles settle हेबे नहीं. So when they settle, ताले सेरा unstable होई जिवो, ताले कोन हबो sedimentation हेले, precipitation हेले, ताले colloidal particles रहिबे in dispersion medium रे, that solution becomes unstable. तो stable हबो पई कोन दरकार ना the colloidal particles should move constantly. So constantly move करथवा दरकार. केतला constantly move करिवे ना when they will carry some charge. बुझेला what is the justification of charge in a colloidal particle? So that charge makes it possible that they move on continuously. They go on continuously. ସେମାନେ परस्पर संगे bombard करନ୍ତି एवं केबे भी stable हेकी बसंती नहीं. So they form a stable colloidal solution, but they are themselves not stable. So निजे stable होती है constantly motion थाए से लगी solution था stable हेकी थाए. अच्छा माने करा हमें एटा न्यूट्रलाइज करबा हमें काबो जो बची काबो पानी को मोल पार्टिकल को हम सेटल करबा. How to do it? Now they carry the negative charge. So if we can neutralize the negative charge, then what will happen? They will lose their charge. So some charge lose करके कौन है? Now they will combine together to form an intermediate particle. Intermediate বা coarse 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 particle कोईगा. है. So when they lose their charge by neutralization, so what they will do? Now they will combine together, they will flocculate together to form a bigger particle, and due to its mass, the bigger particle will settle down at the bottom automatically. जो तो हम कहूँ कौन ना sedimentation. So the addition of a electrolyte, an electrolyte which will neutralize the charge is called coagulation or flocculation. तो इसे हम कौन करीबा ना alum ऐड करिया potash alum ऐड करिबा. potash alum formula जानिचो K2SO4 Al2SO4 whole 3 12H2O. So it's a double salt. So it yields aluminium Al3 plus. Alum कौन करिबो? That will give aluminium hydroxide. Alum जब water air हबो, it will readily form aluminium hydroxide AlOH3. Aluminum hydroxide contains aluminium cation plus hydroxyl ions. बुझेला? So aluminium cation is positively charged. So when it is added to muddy water, से कौन करिबो? This positive charge will neutralize the negative charge present on muddy water. तो से कौन करिबो? जो muddy water जोटा कि constantly move करथला जो small particle गुला को ता देयर थिया negative charge को neutral कर दो. ताले कौन होबो? It will settle down. So this process is called coagulation or flocculation. Coagulation और ता कौन कहा जाए? ना flocculation. How can we define the process? The neutralization of the charge of the colloidal particle by addition of a suitable electrolyte is called coagulation. Okay, or we can say the precipitation of the colloidal particles by addition of a suitable electrolyte is called coagulation or flocculation. ताला में जहाँ को ऐड कर चुका कौन कहेगा ना they are called coagulants or flocculants. So later on we will discuss regarding this. Greater is the valency of these coagulating ions, greater will be their coagulating power. This is called Hardy-Schultz rule, which we will discuss later on. So for the time being, you have to follow what is your coagulation. So the colloidal particles, they are under a constant motion due to the charge possessed by them. Next I will tell you what is the origin of charge, what are the causes of charge. But for the time being, colloidal particles can be stable because they carry negative or positive charge. So when they carry same charge, the same charges repel each other. So they are under a constant motion, they bombard each other and make the colloidal solution stable. But in order to neutralize it, in order to precipitate, what we should do? Now we have to add a suitable electrolyte. Here we add alum which yields or which gives aluminum hydroxide. Aluminum hydroxide consists of aluminum cation and hydroxyl ion. So this aluminum cation will neutralize the negative charge possessed by the mud particles. So when they will lose their charge, they will settle down at the bottom automatically due to force of gravity. So this is how alum works. जेतले कुआरे पानी गोळे हे देखिबो घरे बापा माने कोन करथिबे alum ऐड करथिबे. So this is called coagulation or flocculation. So two things you have to remember: the colloidal particles carry some charge due to which they are under constant motion, and when we add a suitable electrolyte, then it neutralizes the charge on the colloidal particle, so they precipitate out and settle down at the bottom. These two things you have to remember. Next we will discuss the next basis of classification, that is lyophobic and lyophilic. Then students will go to next basis of classification, that is interaction based on interaction between the two phases, between dispersed phase and dispersion medium. So what are the possible interactions? Now they may have affinity for each other or they may not have affinity for each other. So based on the interaction between the two phases, that is dispersed phase and dispersion medium, the colloidal solutions can be of two types. What are they? Now lyo means solvent, then philic means loving, or phobic means hating. So lyophilic colloidal solution or lyophilic, sol colloidal solution is also known as sol, and lyophobic. So listen to it carefully because I will be giving the assignment. Differentiate between these two. This is a possible question in the examination. Differentiate between lyophilic and lyophobic sol. So what is the main difference? Now lyo means solvent, philic means loving. Lyo means solvent, phobic means hating. So this is solvent loving colloid. This is solvent hating colloid. So what does it mean? Solvent loving and solvent hating. But what is solvent? The dispersion medium. So when the dispersed phase has affinity for the dispersion medium, that means for the solvent, they will attract each other. So that is both the phases, the dispersed phase and dispersion medium have affinity for each other. Have affinity for each other. They like each other. They have affinity for each other. So they form lyophilic sol. Okay. Then solvent hating. That is I am shortly writing. You write in details. They means who? Now the dispersed phase and dispersion medium. They don't have affinity for each other. So they don't have affinity for each other means we have to make the colloidal solution forcibly by some special methods. But once these two they come together, instantly they form a colloidal solution. Okay. So we don't need any special special method दरकार होबनी. Once they come in contact with each other, परस्पर संस्पर्श आसला मात्रे माने colloidal solution form करे. मन करो cellulose, starch when they are added to water. So example when cellulose or starch added to water. So what they do? Now they instantly form a colloidal solution. But here, example, if we add gold with water, that is solvent, is it possible that gold will be added to water? They will hate each other, they will repel each other, so they don't have any affinity for each other. But we have to form gold sol, the colloidal solution of gold. So gold sol is an example of lyophobic sol. Gold sol is an example of lyophobic sol where forcibly it is made. There is a special method called Braddick's arc method. So एठी हम केमती प्रिपेयर करिबो ना कौन सी स्पेशल मेथड आपको दरकार forcibly we have to create or prepare that colloidal solution. So here is a special method. So mostly all metal salts, they are formed by Brady's arc method, and they form lyophobic salt. Gold salt, that means all metal salts are example of lyophobic salt. Mostly the metals, they don't have any affinity for any solvent. So when the dispersed phase, that means the metals and the solvent, they don't have any affinity, they will form a lyophobic salt, and instantly they will not form it. We have to make it specially. So this is the first difference with example. Next points I am telling you, explaining you, you have to note it down and send it to me as a whole. That means the difference between your lyophilic and lyophobic salt. So what is the question? Now differentiate between lyophilic and lyophobic salt. Then next, I have already told you the cellulose, starch, etc. are example of macromolecular colloids. So I am only writing the highlighted points. So I am writing only the highlighted points. So mostly the lyophilic salts are formed from macromolecular colloids. I have already told you, I will not repeat. Macromolecular colloids. And these are formed from multimolecular colloids. So all metal salts, they are the example of lyophobic salt. Okay. So when the phases don't have any affinity for each other, it will be unstable. It is highly stable. So next, it is highly stable. It is highly stable and do not precipitate normally. That means it is quite difficult to coagulate or precipitate this type of salt or this type of colloidal solution. So it is quite stable and normally it does not precipitate early. But it is a forcibly formed করছো, they are forcibly made to form a colloidal solution. That means it is unstable and readily precipitate. How? Now by addition of a suitable electrolyte. Precipitation କେମିତି ହେବ? କହିଛି ଏବେ by addition of a suitable electrolyte. ତେଣୁ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ electrolyte add କରୁଛୁ, lyophilic salt ଟା readily ତମର precipitate ହେବ ନାହିଁ, but it will be precipitated readily. So next is, it is unstable, it is stable, and it does not precipitate early due to addition of electrolyte. But ଏଠି ଯେହେତୁ ପରସ୍ପର ଭିତରେ କିଛି affinity ନାହିଁ, ଯେତେ ଶୀଘ୍ର ତମେ add କରିବ, readily it will precipitate. It will coagulate. Okay. Next, it is reversible in nature. It is reversible. It is irreversible. Let us know what is reversible in nature, what is irreversible in nature. Reversible कहले कौन हबो ना, when you heat this colloidal solution कौन हबो तुम्हार dispersion medium टा it will evaporate. So this dispersion medium evaporates completely. Then when we again add the dispersion medium, the same colloidal solution will be formed. तामाने कौन हबो ना एठी त ଆମେ आको evaporate करूछु बा strongly heat करूछु, the dispersion medium gets evaporated. Then when the dispersion medium or the solvent is added again, the same colloidal solution is formed. That means it is reversible in nature. You can once again separate the dispersed phase and dispersion medium. Separate they can be formed. So it is reversible in nature. That means we can once again separate the dispersed phase and dispersion medium by heating. Okay. But once the dispersion medium evaporate again solvent add करछो, readily they will not form the same salt again. Same colloidal solution after form karibe nahi. Okay. So this lyophilic salt is reversible in nature, whereas the lyophobic salt is irreversible in nature. Then next we come to the visibility or viscosity. So when cellulose or starch with water add kariya, the solution becomes more viscous. So higher viscosity then the dispersion medium जहाँ विस्कोसिटी थिला ताके बढ़ी जीवो एठी कोन हबो सेम विस्कोसिटी as that of the dispersion medium रो विस्कोसिटी जहाँ थिला एठी अनचेंज रहइबो कोन सी चेंज हबो नाही ओके Then surface tension. Here the surface tension will decrease, here it will be unchanged. So next, surface tension will decrease. It got over the surface tension will remain unchanged. So these are some points which I have given you. Okay. So बुझियला clearly जते बेले dispersed phase dispersion medium भितर affinity अछि they form a stable solution. It is called lyophilic salt. So when they don't have any affinity for each other, we have to make it special methods. So that one can be another point. It is formed spontaneously or automatically. We don't need any special methods. So it is more appropriate to write no special methods are required for preparation. No special methods for preparation is required automatically but spontaneously eta prepare hei paribo jemti कहली when starch and or cellulose are added to water they spontaneously form a colloidal solution एठी किंतु हमको need special method for preparation जमती कहली तुमको one of the example is Bradig's arc method is used to prepare metal salts. We will discuss these things in details later on. So some special methods like Bradig's arc method are used to prepare them. Kahinki? Because they don't have any affinity for each other. It is clear. Because they don't have any affinity, we have to forcibly make the colloidal solution. That's why they need some special method for that preparation. But here, no such special methods are required. So students, I hope you have understood the difference between lyophilic and lyophobic salt. So this is the assignment for you. You have to write down the difference clearly. Mu khali tumku short ra likhi dechi. Tume details re lekhiki mo paku pathayo. So this is the assignment for today. Next we will discuss the next basis of classification, that is charge of the colloidal solution. So students, next basis of classification is the charge on the colloidal particle. Okay. So I told you that the colloidal particles, they carry some charge. According to the charge possessed by the colloidal particles, the colloidal solution can be of two types obviously. Positive salts or positive colloids, negative salts or negative colloids. So when the colloidal particles, they carry a positive charge, that colloidal solution is called positive colloid or positive salt. When the colloidal particles, they carry a negative charge, that colloidal solution is called a negative salt or negative colloid. Okay. So based on the charge, the colloids or colloidal solutions can be of two types. Positive colloids, that means where the colloidal particles, they carry a positive charge, and negative colloids where the colloidal particles, they carry a negative charge. Examples, you have to remember these examples. Metal hydroxides like ferric hydroxide, aluminum hydroxide, methylene blue dye, hemoglobin are example of positive colloids. So you have to remember at least these things. Metal hydroxides, ferric hydroxide, aluminum hydroxide, methylene blue dye, hemoglobin. So these are positive colloids. That means here the colloidal particles, they carry a positive charge. So why they carry positive charge? I'll explain you next. Then next, negative colloids. I have told you that all metal salts or metal colloids are prepared by special method called Brady's arc method. So an electric discharge is done to prepare the metal salts. So during which electron is captured by the metal salt. So electron is negatively charged. That means during formation of metal salts by Brady's arc method, electron is captured by the salts. It makes the salt negatively charged. Okay. So example, all metal salts like gold, copper, silver, etc. Then metal sulfides like arsenic sulfide, cadmium sulfide, etc. Gelatin, starch, blood, sulfur salt are example of negative salts. So you have to remember at least 2 to 3 examples of each. That means positive colloids, metal hydroxides, your methylene blue dye, hemoglobin. Negative colloids or metal salts, then gelatin, starch, blood, sulfur salt, metal sulfides. These are the example of negative salts. Then a question comes, how the colloidal particles they carry charge. So what is the source of charge on the colloidal particles? So there can be various sources which is not certain. So the various sources or the origin of charge of colloidal particles may be due to these factors. So I will explain you briefly. You just listen to it carefully. So due to friction between colloidal particles and molecule of the dispersion medium. So it has 2 phases, one dispersed phase and a dispersion medium. So when the colloidal particles, they will have friction with the molecules of the dispersion medium, obviously a charge will be originated. So it may be due to friction between the colloidal particles and molecules of the dispersion medium. This may be part of the cause. Then next, due to difference in dielectric constant between dispersed phase and dispersion medium. So if there will be a huge difference of dielectric constant between the dispersed phase and dispersion medium, it is obvious that charge will be generated. Charge will be generated on the particles. Okay. Then next, due to association of electrolytes. So during formation of the colloids, some electrolytes may also be present. Electrolytes means they carry both positive and negative ions. So one of these ions may be absorbed on the surface of the colloidal particle and generate the charge. Okay. So due to association of electrolytes present in the solution. Okay. Then next I have told you due to electron capture during Brady's arc method. So I told you that during Brady's arc method, what is done? Now the metals whose soul is to be prepared is made the electrode. It is dipped inside the water. ताको उटे electrode same metal electrode water उटे freezing temperature रखी ताको dip करा जाए एवं electric spark लिया जाए. So that metal vapor is formed which is instantly absorbed by the water. ताहले कौन हुए ना से metal salt form हुए. So during this electric discharge दिया होती Brady's arc method में. So due to the electric discharge, it may be possible that electron is captured by the metal salt. That's why all the metal salts are negatively charged due to capture of electrons, because you know electrons are negatively charged. Then last one, the most important one, due to preferential adsorption of ions from solution. So what is that? I will be explaining you next. So what happens? For example, we learned that ferric hydroxide is a positive salt. That means it is a positively charged colloid. So next I will show you how it is a positively charged colloid and what is preferential adsorption of ions from the solutions. Okay. Then next students, as I told you, I will show you how ferric hydroxide becomes a positively charged colloid. So when the precipitates of ferric hydroxide to it, when an electrolyte like ferric chloride is added, what happens? Now a colloidal solution of ferric hydroxide is formed. So when a precipitate like ferric hydroxide which is treated with an electrolyte, then what happens? Now this precipitate is converted into a colloidal solution. So ferric chloride, it contains Fe3 plus ions and chloride ions. Okay. So This is called preferential adsorption. So the ferric, suppose this is the molecule of ferric hydroxide. It has no charge on it. It has no charge on it. So when ferric chloride is added, it readily dissociates to give ferric ions and chloride ions. So these ferric ions, due to a common ion between them, what makes it possible? Now these ferric ions, Fe3 plus ions, are adsorbed on the surface of the ferric hydroxide molecule. So these ferric ions, cations, they are adsorbed on the surface. So what are these plus? They are Fe3 plus cations. So what is their source? The electrolyte. তাহলে কোন হয় না এই ফেরিক ক্যাটায়ন গুলা আসলে ফেরিক হাইড্রোক্সাইড মলিকিউল which is neutral তারপরে অ্যাবজর্ব হয়ে যায়. So this forms the colloidal particle of ferric hydroxide. Now this is the colloidal particle of ferric hydroxide. So what is the charge on it? The positive. It contains a positive charge. So this is called preferential adsorption. So when an electrolyte with a common ion is added to a precipitate, what happens? Then the common ion, এটি common কি আছে? এটি দেখো iron আছে, এটি iron আছে. So the common ion, that means এটি কি আসলো? Ferric cation gets adsorbed on the surface of the precipitate or the molecule. তাহলে কোন হবে molecule যে neutral ছিল না will attain a positive charge. So the colloidal particle will be formed. And the dispersion will মানে water বুঝিব, it will move constantly to make a colloidal solution of ferric hydroxide. Okay. So this is how the colloidal solution of ferric hydroxide is formed, and this is why it contains a positive charge, and this is called preferential adsorption. That means adsorption of the common ion. Okay. Then there is another point here. So here in the first layer, which is the fixed layer, the ferric ions are adsorbed. Then the electrolyte also contains negatively charged ions. Semane kon hobe? They will be attracted by this one. Tale kon hobe? They will be also adsorbed next to the negative charge. They will be adsorbed next to the surface. So these are the ebara ki na the chloride ions. Ekটু বার আসছে. So next layer e kon hobe? Na the negatively charged ions will be surrounding the colloidal particle. Colloidal particle को surround करजिबे. तो first layer जोटा adsorb होला, it is called fixed layer. Second layer जोटा negative charge adsorb होला, it is called diffused layer. परे आपने पढ़िया वो रीड होनी, खाली तुमको जो है तू draw करते ही पढ़े देगी. A diffused layer of negatively charged ions co-add. ना chloride भी तो release ही चला. Chloride ions will be adsorbed on the surface next to the ferric ions. Okay. So an electrical double layer will be formed. So an electrical double layer. Okay. One positive charge रहला, one negative charge रहला. So it forms an electrical double layer. Which is known as Helmholtz. Helmholtz electrical double layer. তাহলে electrical double layer is formed or fixed layer কি রইলা না ফার্স্ট অ্যাডসর্ব যে হলে কি ফেরিক আয়ন্স, তারপরে যেহেতু এটা কত পজিটিভ চার্জ হলো, ইট বিকাম পজিটিভ চার্জ, তাহলে সারাউন্ডিং এ কি আসবে না যে রিমেইনিং ইলেকট্রোলাইট রয়েছে নেগেটিভ চার্জেস, সো দে উইল ফর্ম a diffuse layer. That means this one has a double layer, electrical double layer. First one is the fixed layer which contains positive charge here. Second layer is the negatively charged layer which is known as the diffuse layer. So an electrical double layer or Helmholtz electrical double layer is formed. And the potential difference existing between these two layers, the potential difference between these two layers is called zeta potential. This is also an important question. What is zeta potential? তাহলে দুইটা লেয়ার যেটা রইবে obviously there will be a potential difference between them. কি রইলা fixed layer here which is positively charged and the diffuse layer রইলা which is negatively charged. So when two electrical double layers will be there, two different electrical layers will be there which is known as Helmholtz electrical double layer. Obviously there will be a potential difference existing between them. So that potential difference between them is called zeta potential. Okay students, so we'll discuss zeta potential because it is an important question once again in future. But for the time being, this is how preferential adsorption is done. I have discussed 3 parts here. So later we will come to know how which parts I have covered in here. So this is the opposite process of coagulation. This is called peptidation. This is called peptidation. That is reverse process of coagulation. Coagulation कौन होची ना हमें कोलेस्ट्रॉल पार्टिकल्स को न्यूट्रलाइज करछु बाय एडिशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोलाइट एटी हमें कोन करछु प्रेसिपिटेट को अगेन कन्वर्ट करछु कोलोइडल सॉल्यूशन को बाय एडिंग इलेक्ट्रोलाइट. सो दिस इज रिवर्स प्रोसेस ऑफ coagulation known as peptidation. आउथरे पढेबी व्यस्त होनी. सो 3 things I have discussed here. First, preferential adsorption का कहजे कहबी केमती how ferric hydroxide it becomes a positively charged colloidal solution or a positive salt. Second कहली कौन how a diffuse layer and fixed layer is formed over the precipitate. So an electrical double layer is formed and the potential difference existing between these two layers is called electrokinetic potential or zeta potential. Then this process is called reverse coagulation or peptidation. That means conversion of precipitate once again into colloidal solution. Coagulation हम कौन करछु colloidal solution को precipitate को convert करछु by addition of electrolyte. एटा reverse केमती होला देखो by addition of electrolyte हम कौन करछु precipitate को again colloidal solution को convert करछु. So this process is also peptidation. So these are all important questions. Peptidation, potential electrical potential difference or zeta potential. Okay. So students, this second question for today's class, define zeta potential or what do you mean by zeta potential? Okay. So answer these 2 questions. First, the difference between your lyophilic and lyophobic salt. Clearly lekhibo pathebo. Second, what do you mean by zeta potential? तुम कौन बुझिलो आज क्लास को lekhibo तुम WhatsApp पे मते पठाइबो. Okay. So this is for today. See you in the next class.